To my channel. I am Daniel Charles Williams, and this is my journey to a full-time successful eBay business. Thanks for tuning in. This video is going to be about inkfrog.com, and it is spelled just how it sounds, if I'm not mistaken. inkfrog.com, and I'll have it down in the description in the bottom. I'm not affiliated with it right now. Maybe in the future I will be. But I just want to give a review on it because it's something that I use, and someone else in my same boat, in the same boat that I am, probably can benefit from it. So the reason why I went with InkFrog is because I went on YouTube and I see someone else using it. They said they was pleased. I said let me try it out, and so I went to go use it, and I was pleased. Now the reason why I went towards it because I was trying to figure out how to get a VA to have access to my eBay. You know what I mean? My eBay listings. How can they list for me without having them all in my eBay accounts? You know, so InkFrog provides that option, which is really cool. That is probably that's one of the benefits of it. Is that you can give limited access to anybody you want. You can get limited access to anybody. So basically, I give limited access to my virtual assistant, which only has access to listing. So InkFrog is very similar to eBay. Again, this is going to be just verbal. I'm not going to screenshot anything, screen share anything. I'm just gonna talk. So when you go to inkfrog.com, and you go into that platform, it is very similar to eBay. Very similar. The way that you list. When you first log on, it'll be a dashboard, and then it'll give you some options on the left-hand side for listing and creating profiles and settings and stuff like that. So, but other than that, when you go to list, when it says create listing, that setup is almost very similar to creating a listing in eBay. So it's very familiar, very similar to use. So if you know how to use eBay, it'll take you a couple of minutes to go through InkFrog's listing process in it, and you'll pretty much be be up to speed with it. So, but again, the reason why I went to use it because I wanted to give access to a third-party person, just someone to list my products without being inside my eBay accounts, and just safety. Really, it is. You want someone to create listings, but you don't want them to delete stuff. You don't want them to, you don't want them to launch stuff. You don't want them to alter stuff. You don't want them all in your personal information. All right, because once you go into your eBay account, I mean, you can pretty much get all your personal information. So inkfrog.com allows you to give someone access. They can go in and list products, and that's it. You can limit access so they don't delete anything, they don't alter anything. All they do is create a listing, save it, and then they can create multiple listings for the information that you give them, and that's it. So that is one of the benefits. The other benefit is that with InkFrog, you can keep track of all your eBay accounts. And that was one of my problems I had before. I had tried to start. When I started, I said, oh, I'm going to have all these accounts. But it was a little difficult, more difficult than I realized, to keep track of every account. You know what I mean? Because you had to go on and you had to see what's sold here, see in your main account, which obviously is linked to your phone, and you'll be notified. But the other accounts, you had to go in and take a look at them, because I wanted to try to separate my accounts. I wanted to have clothing on one account, and I want to have like miscellaneous stuff and other things, non-clothing items, on another account, and I wanted to just separate them. And I also just wanted more accounts so that it could just provide myself with security. If something happened to one account, I could just continue listing on my other account until I resolve them problems, if I was able to resolve them. If not, then I could just continue listing on these other accounts, these other good current accounts that I have. But anyway, so to try to keep track of all of them, it was difficult. So InkFrog provides you with the option that you can keep track of everything all at one time. So that's a benefit. The other benefit is that you can take one listing off of one account and relist it right on the other account, just like that. It takes a couple of minutes. That was another problem that we had, because I said I had multiple accounts. We was taking listings off of one account because we had got one account more popular. It had better reviews. It had better traffic. So we was taking some stuff off of one account and moving. So we was actually literally just ending the listing there, creating a new listing on this account, taking the pictures over there and then uploading them. It was too much work. So now with InkFrog, I can do it just like that. I can end the listing, after end the listing, relist the listing, change the account, and it'll list directly to your eBay account just like that. No problem. So there's really good benefits to InkFrog. The other benefits is the same as eBay. You can create templates, which is really cool. I created a whole bunch of templates for my jeans, shirts, stuff like that. Women's, you could just go in and it provides you with a cool template. So in your details, in your eBay details, it'll also provide the images of the items as well as within the photo portion of the eBay listing, if that makes sense. So but it gives you templates that you can set up to make things just look a little bit more pretty, basically. I'm not really a big fan of templates. I think you just need to list the item, make sure you provide decent details, and that's about it. You don't really need to be. I'm not a big fan of the flashy listing stuff and having all the bells and whistles. I think all that stuff is really a waste of time. I think you need to provide a good product, good price, details, and call it a day. If someone is interested, they'll look at it, they'll follow it, they'll buy it, they'll give you an offer on it. Your little bells and whistles and things that you have, it really doesn't matter. I don't think it makes a difference. But that's just me. I'm no guru. I don't know. I just, just off of my experience and my little space, you know what I mean? So I sell items. I just pick the right items, price it right, and that's it. That's all you got to do. But anyway, that's my 2 cents. But let me see. What else is really, really good about InkFrog? You can get all your messages. It prompts you for your messages, so you can be notified that you got messages. Obviously, you'll be notified if you sold something. I think it keeps a better track of your sales per, period, sales per day, per 30 day, per 90 day. I think it keeps a good track of that. I haven't really did a comparison. I know eBay keeps like that rolling track of your sales, but I think InkFrog breaks it down better, in my opinion. But I'm not worried about that. I just really worried about the functionality of it, the ability to give someone limited access, which I'm able to do. You can switch listings from one account to the next. You can keep track of all your other accounts, and also that's the benefits of it. You can't ship from it or anything like that. You have to go into obviously go into your eBay account to ship. It won't allow you to do that. It doesn't have that functionality, but just being able to track, list, and allow limited access to your limited access to creating listings. And basically that person doesn't have, when you create limited access for a person, they don't have access to your eBay account. They just have access to InkFrog and be able to list within InkFrog, and then And my process is this. I'll tell you a quick rundown of my process with my VA. What my VA, I just got my VA only has access, listing access. That's it. Now you can give your VA access to launch. They can launch an InkFrog, and then basically it'll launch on your eBay account if you want to do that. But I don't want to do that. I want to review before it's launched. So they have only access to list within InkFrog. They create a listing. You have only access to creating a listing. That's it, not launching it. So they create a listing, they save it, done. I go in, I look at it, it looks good, all the wording is good, all the details I provided to them is good, and then I'll go ahead and launch it. So that's just my check, just to make sure there's just, you know, my check for errors, basically. Because no one's going to do anything like you do it. You might get someone who does, but most likely it's not. I've been around long enough to know that you know, people will work hard for you, but they're just not going to do things like you do it. And that was it. So that was the benefit. Again, I'm cheap, so the cons with InkFrog for me is that I think it's too expensive. I think everything is too expensive. So for the things that I want out of InkFrog, I have the $29.99 a month option, which gives you a limited access, give you the ability to give someone limited access, and it provides you, and you can track all your eBay accounts. I think once you go to a lower version, and I think the lower version is, I think $18 a month or $15 a month. I don't think you can give limited access. I think you can track your eBay accounts, but you just can't give limited access. And I needed limited access. And that's from a monthly standpoint. Now, they have annual subscriptions. If you go pay for annual subscriptions, it's like $10 off. It's cheaper. I'm not in a place to pay for an annual subscription right now. But if everything works out with InkFrog and I continue to use it, then I will eventually go with an annual subscription, because, you know, I just want it cheaper. But from a monthly standpoint, $29.99 to get all the things that I need, I think it's too expensive. I think it should be $19.99. If I can have it in a perfect world, in my perfect world, it'll be $15.99. But that's about it. So it's really good. That's what I use. That helps me integrate my VA into my business without giving them access to all of my business, if that makes sense. But other than that, that's it. So that's my little rundown on InkFrog. If you guys got any questions, just hit me up, leave me a message. I'll be glad to answer, help out. Like I said, hey, you know what? You know, we have life that we have to take care of. We got bills, we got things we got to do. So just trying to get that little bit of edge just to kind of help us, you know, boost our business to the next level. That's what I'm about. So again, you know, hit me up down there. I'll have all the information. Like my videos. If you don't like them, then don't like them. Thumbs down, whatever, it doesn't matter. And subscribe if you can. I'm going to try to make videos that is informative and that we can use, information that we can use to help us, you know, do better with our eBay business. All right. Thanks.